Hey guys, Superlord here, back with another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the DC Multiverse Collector Edition. Is it Silver Age or just straight up DC Classic? I honestly can't remember. But today we're going to be taking a look at Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl, brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, and much like Lobo, who we took a look at yesterday, check that review out if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it if you did. We already looked at the Platinum Edition of this figure on the channel, so I'll try to make this as short and sweet as possible, but probably fail miserably in the process. So, without further ado, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Kara Zor-El has to offer in terms of accessories. And speaking of failing miserably in the process, we have our collectible trading card. Again, if I mixed hers up with Lobo's, feel free to roast me in the comments. I need a good laugh. Make me laugh. I will pin that shit. Bye on the back. She's cousin of Clark Kent, aka Kal-El, aka Superman. That's why she's called Supergirl. Doi. That said, moving on to actual accessories, we have some grip hands. One of them is a trigger finger. For all those times Supergirl used a AK-47. I have a pair of open hands, or I guess flight hands. I would say this karate chop hand is more of a flight hand, and then she's got a booger picking hand for when she's not feeling as classy. And then we get the I want to talk to your manager head. This is the angry head, which I think would look better on the Platinum, and that's what I intend to do. Probably bust that out for comparison with that head sculpt on it later. But she also comes with a hockey puck displaced every single all McFarlane Toys releases, and here we have the figure. Now, am I tripping, or does she have short sleeves? I can't tell. I know she's got a blue skirt. I prefer the blue shirt with the red skirt, but I know that in the Superman animated series, Supergirl did have a white t-shirt with a blue skirt, so not inaccurate. It's just not a look I prefer. I believe she has the red boots still, though, so that's fine. But as far as her articulation goes, her head can rotate, look up and down. She's all happy. Happy that I didn't break her arm, because I will say this bicep on mine was fused completely. I heated this up, I yanked this arm off, and I popped it back together. And it works fine now. That said, she's got that rotation and that beautiful butterfly rotator cap. I didn't mention it. Shoulders pop out. She does have double elbow. Probably a little loose on this side because I did cook it, but you know, I'd rather it be loose than broken. Swivel at the wrist with a hinge. And swivel there. Of course, she's rocking 2 fisticuffs so she could bop you right in the kisser. Diaphragm joint rotates. It does lean back. It does lean forward a tiny bit. Can tilt side to side a little bit. She's got a waist cut, but holy Jehoshaphat, Batman. It was a Superman related video, but very tight. Hips can kick out, back down, you kick forward and back. She does have a thigh cut, double jointed knee, which I can only get the there we go. Bottom one to move. We have a ball hinge ankle that will rotate, hinge, and pivot, and a toe joint, which is tight on both sides, hot dog. But that is Supergirl in a nutshell. She's got the wired cape made out of the nice kind of t-shirty material with the S on the back stamped on there. It's not too sticky either. I had one Superman cape with an S shield that was kind of sticky. I don't remember. It might have been the Bizarro Walmart exclusive from last year, but don't quote me on that. I honestly cannot remember which one it was. But that people, is Supergirl in a nutshell. She's fun. If you don't have the Platinum, I would get this. Especially since that stupid Vault line doesn't seem to want to reissue the Page Punchers one, which is the one I want. You know, the one with the sword that hardly anyone has because it was super sought after. You know, that Vault line is a freaking joke. I should make a video on how that line can suck my balls. But before this turns into a rant, why don't we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, and as promised, here we have good old Supergirl alongside her Platinum variant based off, I want to say Crisis on Infinite Earths, but don't quote me on that. And I did swap the stern head from this standard Supergirl onto this Platinum Supergirl because I heard the paint was better. Hopefully it is, otherwise I'm going to feel like a boob, but there you go. And the reason I got both of these Supergirls is because up until this point, I didn't have any comic book Supergirls. I only had like a CW one from Mattel. Because once again, that Page Punchers one with the sword, kind of hard to get. Another reason that Vault line can suck my balls. They need to put that in there instead of powder blue Azrael. Who asked for that? Especially with the new one. That said, we do also have Lobo, the Back in Black version that we did take a look at yesterday. So please check that out if you haven't already. Really appreciate it if you did. And of course, Lobo's got more plastic in him than these two Supergirls have combined. So there you go. Getting them out of the way. So we can bring in our two regulars. The Mythic Legion's brother Mandibilith right here. And the infamous 11 Spawn right here. So, as you can see, good old Al Simmons towers over everyone because Supergirl is just a kid, man. So that being said, I think it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and of the two Supergirls I've taken a look at here on the channel, I still think I prefer the Platinum over this one because I like the blue shirt with the red skirt as opposed to whatever look this one has going for it. That said, I do prefer the heads from this figure as opposed to the Platinum. I think the paint is a little bit better. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.